It's day 2 of the NHL Draft, baby, and sometimes the non-stories are as big as the actual stories. This may change within the span of the next few hours, but because we're gonna be spamming out videos like crazy, I wanted to start the morning off right. Let's talk about the big rumor, the big update, the big piece of news that was talked about 1 hour ago. Larry Brooks, New York Post, talk of the Rangers trading Jacob Trouba to the Red Wings is growing. We'll leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and read this article, because it was posted. And look, we're not going to read this entire thing ourselves on this video, but Larry Brooks goes out there and talks about the crew, talks about the draft, talks about everything that's going on, until Jacob Trouba's no move transforms into a 15-team no-trade clause also on Monday as momentum continues to build for the defenseman's exit from New York after 5 seasons. A well-placed source has told the New York Post that GM Chris Drury is working on a deal to send the captain to the Red Wings, a trade that the Michigan native would presumably accept. What did I say there? Accept, excuse me. It's early in the morning, folks. I apologize. After having played as a freshman for the Wolverines in 2012-13. We are told the Rangers may retain $2.5 million per year on the remaining 2 seasons of Trouba's $8 million AAV. That represents 31.25% retention that would also be applied to the $12 million in salary that Trouba has coming over the next 2 seasons. If that does become the amount of retention, if this deal does go through, that would clear an additional $5.5 million in cap space. But the Blue Shirts would have to then find a reasonable replacement for the most physical and menacing player on the team who held down a spot on their first PK unit. Article's going to be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and read more of this. I wanted to talk more so about the reaction. I wanted to talk about this idea just as a whole and what this could mean, because some of the replies are pretty funny. This was posted onto Our Hockey. The first comment, Jake Wallman died for this. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 baby. Take a look at that. You trade away Jake Wallman. Not just like you trade away Jake Wallman, you pay. You pay money. Not money. You paid a draft pick. You paid capital to trade away Jake Wallman to get Jacob Trouba at $6-something million a year? Stevie Y, what the F? Last year's free agent signings were hilariously bad, and this is just dumb. Okay, I don't know about hilariously bad. Like, I get a Canucks fan going out there and teasing the Red Wings. Hilariously bad? That's a bit much. Paying to send out Wallman just to trade for Trouba's contract is wild. The Yzerman is spitting out into space, and Stevie Y is panicking at the controls. Swagnut says, I hate Trouba, and I don't want him. We're not taking his whole contract, and it expires in 2 years when most of the other bad ones like Sherratt, Petrie, Hall, and Mata are gone too. This doesn't change a thing about the Yzerman over the next 2 years other than giving us an NHL caliber right D that we desperately need. So there's kind of a different point of view, excuse me. Listen, I'm not that invested in the Yzerman, but saying we just need to wait out 2 years of crappy deals Yzerman signed, and the one that he's about to trade for before this plan takes off, this isn't really ringing an endorsement. And look, man, I don't want to say the upvotes tell the entire story, but I feel like this has been a growing sentiment over the past few days, especially with that Jake Wallman trade. A lot of people going out there and questioning, hey, you know, Steve Yzerman, we get it, he built the Lightning squad that ended up winning some cups, but what's going on here? Ay, 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 none of our top prospects are in the NHL yet, and we barely missed the playoffs. I thought their best prospects were Sider and Ray. There's a pretty big argument going on here. Maybe keep your picks then, yada, yada, yada. I'm straight up convinced that if he was to trade Larkin for a 4th-round pick right now, Red Wings fans would need a day to find an explanation as to why this is actually not a big deal, and everyone should trust the Yzerman. The most overrated hockey figure, and it's not close. Okay, that's coming from a Lightning fan. Interesting, interesting, interesting. The reasonable fan base, along with most of the bigger Red Wings bloggers, are firmly in the what the F have we gotten ourselves into camp now. Well, the trade hasn't gone through yet. We'll just leave it at that. In the least surprising news since the Red Wings took Brandsack Newgard, I don't even think that this pick is all too bad, you know? Like, we made the video about it yesterday. Was it predictable? Oh yeah, for sure it was predictable. But at the end of the day, we have to wait and see what happens before making full judgments about this. It's just, for Trouba, man, Ay, ay, ay. The guy is not a positively valued asset in the way that you might think. If you wanted to adjust your perception about things just by looking at trade returns, what comes in and what comes out. Oh, the Red Wings have to trade stuff away to get rid of Jake Wallman, only to get Jacob Trouba? Like, is that really it? Is it it? I don't know, man. I will say, though, we could get into a sort of hypothetical conversation as to what the rest of the Red Wings lineup would look like and what this could do. You know, I don't think it's that unreasonable of a take to say that Jacob Trouba would be a player on this team. I mean, for as bad as he was, is he better than Petrie? Is he better than Hall? I'd probably say so, but the magnitude as to how much better he is, I don't really know how much that is you need to believe in to fully think that this is a good idea. Oh man, this is gonna be bad, isn't it? I mean, look, I don't want to say I'm doubting the Yzerman, and I don't want to say that there is a reasonable explanation for everything that's going on, but we gotta wait and see. We gotta wait and see. I saw the comments in the last video too. I mean, when we talked about the Wallman trade, seems like a lot of us in the comment section were just kind of rationalizing it by saying, okay, we just don't know what's going on. Stevie Y is cooking, right? Like, we had seen the stuff yesterday that the rumors of Stamkos to Detroit are heating up, right? So maybe it's not just a Jacob Trouba. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe there also is good reason to believe that there are extra names that could be tossed into the fray, and it's not as bad as isolating it out and saying, yeah, Jacob Trouba to the Red Wings. This is growing. You trade away Wallman, you get Trouba, a guy that will take away minutes from Seider, and I don't know, also contribute some defensive mistakes alongside of Justin Hall and Jeff Petrie, except this time the guy blocks shots and he hits people. This is going to be trade frenzy, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about these rumors of the Rangers and Red Wings potentially getting a deal done. $5.5 million apparently seems to be the range here. There also are some other things talked about in this article, but, you know, it's all here if you want to go out there and read it. All the reactions here are so funny, though. I cannot... Like, this is going to be such a crazy way for the day to get going, but yeah, trust the Yzerman, man. People are really cynical about this. Really cynical, so maybe Reddit is not the best place to go out there and think about just how people are feeling about certain ideas, but you know, it's there. I wanted to bring it up, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Jacob Trouba over to Detroit, how this is heating up. We'll make a second video, if it does go down and what the trade actually looks like, but for now, we have ourselves a draft program to pay attention to. It starts in about half an hour, and we're going to be making videos all day, baby, so this is the first one to get everything started. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Jacob Trouba potentially fitting onto this blue line at $5.5 million a year for the next 2 years. What are your thoughts about the Red Wings potentially acquiring him and what a trade could look like? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.